Every time I talk with groups about influence, I always get this comment of, isn't that manipulative? And there's a visceral reaction to this notion that I should intentionally think about how to be more effective at influence. Largely because people feel that it's then not pure meritocracy, and that's somehow not right. So what's your response to those people?
Yeah, I get this question a lot as well when we talk about influence, both in kind of training programs at university as well, and just generally around the dinner table. And I think it is the case that most of us would like to think that, it is a meritocracy and that people, weigh up the pros and cons of our skills, our attributes, and take us seriously in that regard. But the challenge, of course, with that notion is that we live in a world now that's just so overwhelming, so saturated with stimulus and vies for our attention, that we really just don't have the time, and certainly we don't have the cognitive bandwidth, kind of the mind space, to be able to look at everything that's actually going on, to reflect, to properly computate, should I be listening to this person or should I not? And so what we do is we use these shortcuts, these kind of mental rules of thumb. That's essentially what these 8 messenger traits are in a way. They are signals that can communicate to us, Wanda, is this person worth listening to? So as a result, it's not a meritocracy society in that instance. Often, looking and sounding right will often be more likely to get you heard than actually being right. And that's the really fascinating thing, and perhaps arguably a kind of unnerving aspect of this particular book, is that at no point do Joe and I ever consider what's being said. We're not saying, improve your ability to influence by saying it this way rather than this way. Because in this increasingly information overloaded world, it seems to us that often what's being said becomes an irrelevance. Look at, how certain messengers are able to make certain claims that are clearly false. Look at the explosion of fake news. All these are examples of how, it's not the quality and the content of what's being said that we're paying attention to and weighing up. It's often just one of these, mental shortcuts that kind of leads us to pay attention and accept what's being said. And I recognize and fully appreciate the ethical and the societal impacts and implications of that.